need and you passed him up. You remember when you're seeing a man that maybe lost every member of his family, and instead of showing him love, you just rejected him. You remember that? Remember the little lady who children has forsaken them? Remember? You had an opportunity to be a blessing to her. Have you been a blessing to her? Little lady that her family's rejected. Have you been a blessing to her? I know you have. You know what I'm talking about, don't you? Yeah. It's quiet in here because I hope you're thinking. Have you had opportunities just to be kind to someone? That maybe you're having a bad day so you mistreat them? What about the waitress that works so hard just to make sure your food's on the table? Man, don't ever leave them a track and no tip. I used to see people leave tracks and no tip. If you're going to leave a track, you leave the best tip you can possibly leave. If you leave a track, you give them 25 or 40 or 50% tip. We went to grab something to eat, a month or so ago. Excuse me. A young lady came over to wait on us. It was me, my granddaughter, Nevaeh. Dennis. We were all sitting there and we just started teasing her, playing with her. She looked at us and she says, "You know, you've made my day. You've made my day." She says, "I was having a horrible day, but you just cheered me up." So we went to pay for the bill, and Wally said, "I'm going to pay the bill." He said, "You leave a tip." So I said, "You know what? Let's leave her the best tip she got today." And I gave her a $20 bill. I mean, that's not a lot of money. To make someone's day, to bless somebody, $20 is nothing. And I handed it to her, and her face lit up. She smiled and said, "Oh, thank you." And I told Wally said, "You know, that was a little too much, don't you think?" I said, "Look, man, she said we made her day. Let's make it even better." I'm not bragging. I'm not bragging that I did something nice. I'm just saying, let's be the best people that we possibly can be. We represent the King. We represent Jesus. We represent Jesus Christ. The God of love, the God that loves so much that He gave His life for us. Why can't we show that same kind of love? There was a question about wives submitting themselves to husbands. And my answer to that is always that the husbands are to love the wife as Christ loved the church, and Christ died for the church. Do you love anyone enough to die for them? Because you had someone loved you enough to die for you. We're talking about giving mercy. Here is a man who had an opportunity to give mercy multiple times a day, and throughout his life he refused to, and now he wants mercy. There's no mercy for the merciless.
That's right.
There's no mercy for those who show no mercy. If you show no mercy, don't expect mercy. It says, and besides, let me read that again. It says that Abraham said, "Son, remember that thou in thy lifetime received thy good things, and likewise Lazarus evil things. But now he is comforted, and thou art tormented." Look at that. He says, you received the good things, and Lazarus received the evil things. And he didn't say it, but he's implying, and you had the power within your hands to ease that evil. You had the power in your hands to make things a little easier. Oh, you say, I don't want that bum in my house. Well, maybe you don't want him in your house, but you have enough money that you could have built a little shelter for him. Yes. You probably had enough money, and you probably had enough influence that you could have got other people to donate to maybe build a little homeless shelter, to not only give a home to Lazarus, but to give a home to other people in the community that's in the same situation. You had the opportunity to show mercy, but you refused to show mercy. While you lived sumptuously, while you lived in ease, this man suffered much evil, and you had power and you had means to do something about it, and you refused. Folks, you say, I'm not a rich man. I don't have a lot. But what do you have? Do you have a little?
More than what they have.
I got a call the other day. And this was what I was asked. I had a social worker at my house, and I got a call that, no, you leave it on. I got a call that a young man who I've known since he was a little boy had just got out of jail, having been falsely accused of something, and his wife moved off, and he don't know where she was at, and he couldn't find him. Went to his mother's house, and she mocked him and told him, and she was the cause of him even going to jail. He took some pain medication. She gave him some liquor, disguised it in some drink. He didn't even realize he was drinking until he got so drunk and got belligerent and got arrested. And he went to her house, and she mocked him and said, "You're not staying at my house." And the poor boy walked around for 2 days, hadn't ate. And I was called, and this is what I was asked. Could I take him and get him something to eat and bring him to my house and give him a shower? And I said, no, I can't. Now that was all I was asked. Well, when they came back, and I talked to, it was actually Ann who had called me, and I explained to her why I couldn't do it. I said, but I would have taken him food if I knew where he was. But that wasn't what I was asked. Amen? And then I found out that, we later found out he found a place to stay, and I referred him to go to St. Herman's on Franklin. And I would have taken him. I would have taken him and got him a bite to eat. I would have taken him to a place where he would have found a place to stay. I couldn't physically bring him into my house,
No.
but I could have done something.
Yes.
And another lady who's not even saved, who's struggling financially themselves. She told him, said, well, if you can get a hold of him, tell him to get to my house. Said, I won't let him in my house, but I will make him a couple sandwiches. See, we may not have much, BB, but what we have, we can share. Amen? You may only have a half a loaf of bread, and maybe a half a jar of peanut butter, but can you give that?
Yeah.
Can you help somebody? Now, I don't recommend that you let these people in your house, because now I'm not talking about this young man, but most people, you let them in your house, they won't leave. And when you do get them out months later, they take everything that you own. I know, I've experienced it. 3 different people.
Amen.
3 different people that basically robbed me blind. They come there and stand, they lay down on your floor, and they can't get them up. Can't get them to leave for months.
They don't take stuff when they leave, they take the stuff out of there.
Yeah, they take it and sell it so they can get drugs, amen? But the point I'm trying to make is there's some things you can't do,
Yeah.
but there are some things you can do.
Right.
And then if you see they're hungry, make them a peanut butter sandwich if that's all you have. Amen? Because see, there may be a day that you're going to need mercy.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I shared last week how years ago, before I ever got saved, I was riding with a friend of mine and his fiance, and we'd stopped at the hot dog inn. I went in and bought everybody hot dogs, and I seen a bum